Hello, mate.
Hello there.
How are you, Andy? You okay?
I'm pretty good, thanks.
Thank you, and welcome all to Aston Villa Through the Years podcast. Joining me today is Andy Dale, and Andy joins us for a chat about his projects. I'm not calling it a movie, I'm not calling it a book, I'm not calling it a play, I'm calling it the project at the moment. It's a play on Aston Villa. Now, it's called Used 14, and is it a play on the word that Villa used 14 players when they won the league, or is it a play, book, and movie that is a lot more deeper than that?
I think it's a bit deeper. It
Yep.
is based on the book. I mean, we have to probably start with the book Just 14
Yep.
that I wrote in 2015. And when I was writing, I couldn't think of a title. And then it came to me. The character, who was myself, based on me, turned 14 during the season. And it's a lot about sort of growing up and school days of a teenager. And obviously then, of course, the Villa used just 14 players to win the league that season in 80-81. And also, I was promised my first season ticket the year after, and the price of that was £14.
Right, so
Just 14 for a juvenile season ticket.
so it is a lot deeper than just 14, but 14 is the lucky number.
It works well.
European champions in 81, 71 years had come and gone. Saunders and all enjoyed the ride, with McLaren and Barton by his side. From Villa Park to Rotterdam, every woman, every man, Jimmy and Nige and Kenny Swain, Evo and Macca, two are the same. Midfield four, left backs are plenty. Glass always full, never half empty. Would you bet against us? Don't be a fool. Saunders had his bargaining tool. Geddes and Shawsey, and the famous last piece, Peter the Great, Shinori's feet, took on all comers, gifted and keen, a remarkable feat. Villa used just 14.
SRB Media.
Now, when you were a 14-year-old kid, you were at school. What school did you attend back then in those days?
It was a new school at the time called Sneed Comprehensive near Warsaw.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they built it just for us for our year.
Oh, that's very kind of them, isn't it?
Yeah, and we were always the oldest year there. So we had New Year's come in.
Yeah.
And we were always the oldest one.
So you started with the book.
Yes.
When did you think, I want to write a book about, it was my 14th year, B, Villa won
Yes.
14, the season ticket was 14, 14 just come up to you, and just 14 obviously is the working title around it, but when did you really first get the idea? I know when you wrote it, but when did that idea come to you? When was that moment, that light bulb moment, you thought, you know what, I want to write a book? And is it the first book that you wrote? Is it a play? And is it going to be a movie? So let's talk about Just 14, the project.
Okay, yeah, totally. And it's my second major novel.
Yeah.
The first one's called Browne's in the Bedroom, and that's based on my time at university.
Okay.
And I wrote that back in about 2010. Now, interestingly, the character there is the same character we go back to in Just 14.
Got ya.
He's named Jonathan Stadler. And there's always a bit of Villa to the actual college one. I'm going back occasionally to the Villa play. The year they get relegated, in fact, which is quite weird. And Browne's went so well, I wanted to follow up book. And I thought, let's actually go the other way. Let's actually go to being younger. And actually sort of the 1980-81. And I just found it so easy to write because my memory of those days is so clear.
Yeah.
Better than last week, anyway.
I think when we were that kind of age and we were in love with the game of football, things, and especially music, when you listen to songs, it evokes such vivid memories.
It does, totally.
And I think that when you're in that kind of third year comprehensive, you know, you're just finding and discovering yourself. And for you guys to win that league, it was like double bubble, wasn't it?
Well, it was even, I was based, like I say, in Warsaw.
Yeah.
I was the only Villa fan. We'd got a lot of Wolves fans and Albion fans. In fact, my family were Wolves fans as well.
Right.
I was the odd one out. I mean, you'd find out from the film when it's out there. that my granddad bought tracksuits for me and my brother from CNA in about 1975. My brother's was a yellow one, so he celebrated being a Wolves one, and mine was actually purple. And at the time I was disappointed. And my granddad sat me down and said, that's the colours of Aston Villa, who won the FA Cup more times than anybody else.
Yeah.
And since that day, I've just been a total Villa fan.
So let's go back to those early days, Andy,
Yeah.
being a kid. Who took you down to Villa Park and watched those games at Villa? Because if you're going to school and all your mates are either Wolves or the Albion, and your parents aren't really into Aston Villa, how do you get down there? Because again, Villa, it's an anomaly, is it really, that people say, oh, most of Villa supporters are from outside of Birmingham. Aston Villa are a big club. They command support from all over the globe, and Walsall is just an area that, Villa do pull supporters in from, as they do the Shires, the Black Country, and obviously biggest club in Birmingham as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing to know is I didn't have my season tickets the year after.
Yeah.
So I actually only went probably to 4 games that season.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is how we followed it other ways.
Yes.
Radio Birmingham, as it was there, BBC, with their goal horn.
Yeah.
CFAX for some sort of midweek games.
Yeah.
We watching the screens go along. Waiting for sports night. Run Below's windows. That's what it's all about, the book. And there is the character in the book, obviously based on me, has a lucky radio. Right, and it was really a place, whenever that was turned on, the Villa would score. My brother, the Wolves fan, would deliberately try and hide the radio.
I bet he was. It's a little bit like Tony Butler with his prayer mats, isn't it, your radio?
Well, that gets mentioned as well, yes. Interestingly, Tony Butler helped me with the book.
Oh, okay. In what way?
Yes. My wife has got a private practice.
Yeah.
And I won't tell you what it's about.
Sure.
But I noticed when I was going through her patient list, one Tony Butler.
Okay.
And I said, that isn't the Tony Butler, is it? And she said, from the radio? And I said, yes, it is. And it was when I was writing the book. So we arranged to go to spend the evening with Tony and talk about all the stuff from the 80s. And it was an amazing night. It really was. Yeah.
Because he was superb. I mean, he was both BRMB and WM.
They all sacked him.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, he was quite a controversial character. He was a larger than life character as well. And you referenced Sports Night again for the kids that watch Villa today. They're on Sky TV that you can watch them. Well, Monday through to Sunday. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Back in our day, it was a Wednesday night for Villa if they were playing in the week, and it was a Saturday 3 p.m. kick-off. You don't kick off much on 3 p.m. of a Saturday now, and very rarely you kick off on a Wednesday. It's all over the place. It is a whole different ball game. Sadly, when Sky got involved, it was.
Well, it's instant now. Like I say, as soon as that goal's scored, your phone's vibrating before the ball's in the net, isn't it now?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, it's completely different, especially if you follow betting apps when you've got a bet and then the phone vibrates. Or if you're listening now, as you would back then, to WM or BRMB don't really exist these days. It's only WM, and you have to go on DAB to follow the commentary on WM now. But if you're watching Villa with your local radio, you're right, it's behind, isn't it?
You know, you get the goal first.
Yeah, you can't literally listen to the commentary, turn it down and listen to the commentary because it just doesn't work. It doesn't pan in. What was it like watching it through CFAX? I mean, that was again a whole new ball game. And again, we used to have final score with all the results. So sometimes if you didn't get to the game, you'd literally watch that teleprinter come through and you'd look at it, wouldn't you? You go, Aston Villa 1.
And you'd wait for it, yes.
Wolverhampton Wanderers. Oh, we won. Brilliant. And that was the way that we got our scores, our results. You would even sometimes, your dad would write them, you'd go to bed because you've got to go to school, you've got to have an early night, and your old man would write the scores down, you'd get down and you'd look at the piece of paper, oh, we've won. Again, completely different.
It is very different, yes.
Your front page of the book, where did that come from?
What's that, sorry?
Your front page, the front page of your book,
It's
and the Just
interesting.
14.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I sort of, when I wrote it, after an illustrator, so I put an advert online,
Yeah.
and this Blue Nose applied for it.
Okay.
And I've used him ever since. I used him in Browne's book first of all,
Yeah.
and then I've used him all the Just 14 ones. He does brilliant cartoons, and it's very much. I was very much Sputio, so Sputio is a big thing in all the cartoons, really.
Oh, okay. Now, Just 14, it's just the number 14.
It is number 14, yeah.
Why that? I mean, great number as well. Johan Cruyff used to wear that number, of course, and not the letters, the words, the written 14. Any reason that you just use
I
the
think
number?
it fits nicely, and also the typeface is good. It's a
Yeah,
bit like it looks like a number off a shirt, doesn't it? The
yeah, it does.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got me in trouble though recently. I must admit,
In what
the
way?
connotations of the title "Just 14" has got me blocked on quite a few different social media.
Really? Why?
Well, because they associate, well, like Prince Andrew kind of things, aren't we talking about?
Oh, okay.
So that, but I'm determined. I'm going to keep it. We did think about changing the movie title,
Right. Okay.
but we've decided we're going to go for it.
I mean, isn't it pathetic, really? Because it's absolute innocent. It's about a
It is.
book
Yeah.
that's turned into. Is it a play as well as a movie?
It's not a play. No,
No.
the play was something else. Somebody else did a play.
Yeah.
Mine's purely the book was taken up by a director.
Yeah.
Who thought it would make a very good movie.
Yeah.
Very similar to Fever Pitch.
Okay.
So to do for Villa what Arsenal had in that film, and very much make it a coming of age story.
Yes.
So the book probably is 50% football.
Yeah.
The movie is probably about 25% football.
Got ya.
75% growing up, getting bullied, things at school.
Yeah.
Rivalries between different teams.
Because I guess really when the movie people get hold of the book, it's never the same because they do put it out there for. When you say the movie, is it going to be going to the silver screen or will it be
Yes.
going to? It will be.
Silver screen's the idea. What we're doing at the moment is we're filming a promotional trailer. We've got a big event 24th October to show this trailer to film people and football people, and various people are going to be there.
And that's going to be
media.
Yeah, that's going to be at the Britannia, isn't it? In Wollaston.
Britannia, yeah. I mean, we filmed at Villa Park on Saturday.
Yes, I noticed.
It was really great. Yeah, the club let us access to the ground. We tried to make it look like it was full. There's about only 70 of us there. And we had Des Bremner being a steward.
Yeah.
We've already done cameos for Tony Morley and Gary Shaw. That's great.
Now, the players, you've just mentioned Des, a great picture of him being a steward. And
it was great.
The players, it wasn't just a fantastic team, they were a fantastic group of men. I mean, I've been in their company a few times now at the Britannia Bar at Wollaston. Wayne puts on some fabulous events.
He certainly does, Wayne does.
Yeah, and the players are just different class. They are fantastic. You can see why Dennis was the captain. He's such an inspirational leader. Now, how many players, let's talk about the cameo appearances, how many of the players are going to be in the film in cameo performances?
In the film,
yes.
I mean, in the actual trailer, we've got 4.
Yeah.
In the actual film, I won all 14. Now, obviously, Eamon DC has died.
Sure.
They'll get the 13, and then we'll superimpose Eamon with the help of these people back in Ireland.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the film.
That sounds absolutely.
So any sort of Villa fan watching will be able to point them out and find the 14. General people wouldn't realise who they were.
Yes. Now you've got a group. You're promoting it through the group. You've got a Facebook page as well. You want people to get involved. And Sue Verity has done a wonderful painting of Dennis and Ron, and she got involved in the project as well. How can other people, Villa supporters, get involved in the project if they don't already know and they're not already involved in? I've got to say, it's a wonderful project.
Yeah, I mean, the website is Just 14 the movie. So numbers 14.
Yep.
So just14themovie.com.
Mm-hmm.
The Facebook page is also Just 14 the movie. Twitter's the same, so is Instagram.
When would you anticipate the movie going to the silver screen? Is that how near to that is it?
After the trailer, we've got to really push for the funding. It's become a bigger movie than I expected.
Yeah.
So the budget is approaching 2 million now.
Blimey.
Yeah, but we've got a major cast who are going to be in it. Every sort of famous Villa fan you'll know from the films
Great. Yeah.
will be involved. So what we're going to do, we're looking at probably the end of 2023, start of 2024 for the Villa anniversary and 50 years.
Yes. Yep.
Since I started. And
Yeah.
we've been working with the club who've been great, the club so far. Paul Till's been fantastic as commercial director.
I've got to say, I'd noticed that clearly Aston Villa opened the doors to you, they opened the gates
Yes.
to me. Sadly, they've done that to the MPs today, but let's not talk about that.
Yes.
But you know, they do a fantastic job. They are the only club in Birmingham that would have opened the doors to you and have been so accommodating as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they gave the stewards the whole lot.
Yeah.
Access to the social media. So it's really moving forward. We had a great talk, like I say, at the club with Paul Tyrrell. It was very good.
Now, you mentioned Des. You've got 4 players involved in the trailer.
Yes.
Shawsey is one of them, and Gary was a teacher in this
Oh.
trailer.
That was surreal. Because what happened, I mentioned the Sneed School.
Yeah.
It actually closed down in 2004, I think it was.
It's a bit like our school that we used to go to, Shawsey and me, Kingshurst on Cook's Lane.
Oh, yes. Of course, yeah. So what happened, I went round there about a few months ago.
Yeah.
And it hasn't changed. There's a community centre who are in charge of it. So we said, could we film there?
Yeah.
And the classroom where things really happened was there. And Gary Shaw was a cameo as a teacher in my old classroom. Surreal.
Fantastic. What other? So you got Des, you got Gary. What other players are involved in cameo?
Yeah, the other really good place we had was Aston Hall.
Okay.
We filmed. They let us use the gardens there. They opened the cafe, all sorts of things. And we had Tony Morley as a gardener in Aston Hall. And when people see the trailer, he's brilliant.
You never set fire to it, did he?
Did you what?
You never set fire to Aston Hall, did he?
No. He likes that story, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Get it mentioned. No, he was superb. Kenny Swain, who's also been great.
Yes.
I mean, he was walking with me at Aston Hall, telling me stories about when he was growing up.
Yeah.
And we've got Alan Crampton, who's made a Subbuteo model villa.
Yes, I've
Villa
noticed
Park.
that. That's fabulous, isn't it?
It is fabulous. Well, Kenny was really into this and was telling us he used to play Subbuteo when he was 14.
Yeah.
And he played with Dennis Mortimer, Tim McDermott and Phil Thompson.
Blimey.
As 14-year-olds after school every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has Dennis got involved in a cameo part at the moment?
Dennis hasn't been so keen at the moment. We will finally get him.
Yeah.
He signed the paintings. That was very good of him.
Yeah, I mean, it is an absolute fabulous project. It's
Yes.
it's one that's gonna grow and grow. So let's have another shout out for your website and how can fans engage with you? Having not just your group, but lots of Villa groups. We've got a Villa group, we've got a Villa page, but connecting with all of them is vital for you, isn't it? To gain momentum.
Is, yeah. It's always the Just 14 the movie. That's the hashtag. The just14themovie.com is a website. There's a contact form on there you could fill out and just keep spreading the word, really.
Absolutely. Let's go back to the bar at Wollaston, the Britannia bar,
yes.
on the 24th. It isn't just Villa players that's there. It isn't just a Villa event. There's lots of West Midlands players. I think you've got Tom Ross there from the media. You've got Rupert Bell, haven't you, there as well? You've got
Mark
Big Gary.
Regan.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got all the people who've written books. David Instone, John Wagg, all those people.
So you've got some great You've
Yeah,
got some great minds, great broadcasters, great writers from this area, haven't you? Have
we
you
have.
have you got a soundtrack? Because are you putting? Is there going to be music to this movie? Because do you know what? There were
Oh,
some great songs out in 1982 as well. Well,
yeah, it is.
1980, 81, 82.
It's a feel-good movie.
Yeah.
There'll be all the 80s look, the 80s retro, the 80s sounds, the whole lot. It'll make sure any Villa fan will cry when they watch it. They were so happy, and also there are some sad moments as well.
Mind you, to be fair, Andy, I think a few of them cried when they was watching the game against Leeds United yesterday, wasn't they?
It was frustrating, wasn't it?
It can be at times, but again,
Mm,
that's a football supporter for you.
yes.
What artists, what musicians, what songs were you into as a 14-year-old, and then when you went on to university, what were you into? Were you into specials? Were you into ska? Was you into new wave? Was you into rock soul?
Pro- Probably new wave and a bit of soft rock, but embarrassingly, I was one of the first ABBA fans.
I'll
At
be
school,
honest, I was as well.
one of the first scenes they actually filmed, the Gary Shaw one,
Yeah.
which really happened, was I had an ABBA pencil case,
Okay.
and this school bully took the ABBA pencil case and stabbed it and then threw it out the window.
Yeah, I'm kind of not surprised that he'd done that, if I'm honest. I mean,
Yeah.
I liked ABBA. As I say, went to
Mm,
school in Kingshurst, Chelmsley Wood, same
yes.
school as Gary Shaw. Shaw's
Yes. Yeah.
is slightly older than me. I
Mm,
liked ABBA. It was 1974 and Waterloo. I thought it was a great song. But I
yes.
wouldn't have had an ABBA pencil case at my school because you would have had the
I
shit kicked out of you.
agreed. Yeah, but a very mixed sort of music. I mean, Human League's a big one.
Yeah.
I like, and also Dexter's Midnight Runners. They get featured quite a bit, and a bit of Madness. So much stuff from that year. And the other interesting thing is that Just 14 is actually my 14th birthday,
Yes.
which was the 4th of April 1981, on the day that Villa won 4-2 at Leicester, went top. Aldeniti won the Grand National. Bucks Fizz won the Eurovision Song Contest, and there was a boat race as well.
Blimey, that's one hell of a day. That is your
It is.
birthday of 14. Are you putting all of this into the movie as well?
A lot of it will. I mean, what's happening is getting
Yeah.
the book down to the movie isn't easy. The
Yes.
movie's 90 minutes. Had to be, didn't it, really?
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Exactly 90 minutes. And we've had it written, and we've had to lose a few characters. But the
Yes.
feel of the book is quite similar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
I mean,
much
so much feel good, though.
how much input have they allowed you to have into the movie? You said you got 25%. Are you still very much involved in the movie, or have you just given it to them and it's out of your hands, and they will lose one or
Yeah,
two characters, they will do whatever they like, and they
yeah.
will embellish, and they will just brush it up, tart it up for the big screen and the TV, because that's what they do.
I'm not like that, unfortunately,
Yeah.
as they're finding out. I mean, I had a conversation this morning about a scene they're doing tomorrow at Kiddie Mr. Harriers. The reason doing Kiddie is for the standing area,
Yeah, got ya.
right, the halt, they're using the barriers.
Yeah.
And they actually made a few suggestions, and I said, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I've got quite a bit of involvement, really.
So you're almost a director as well in your own projects, haven't you? You have got a little bit of like, no, I don't want to do that, and you have got a little bit of a say.
Yeah. I mean, maybe once we get to the next stage, that
Yeah,
might
sure.
disappear a bit more.
Yeah, I suppose if they give you another couple of million, you might just say, well, carry on then, mate. You can have it wherever you like.
Yes. I just want it to be made. I think so many Villa fans are ready for it now.
Yeah.
And it's a film that Villa need. I mean, Arsenal got theirs, Tottenham have got their glory days ones. Leeds have got the damned United sort of thing. We
Although
need
they
a
do
Villa one.
distance themselves
Listen,
from
the
that.
damned United.
Yeah.
Yes, probably more. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it
Yeah.
sounds
Dirty Leeds.
it sounds an absolutely fabulous project. Give another shout out for the website and your Twitter feeds, your Facebook feeds, etc. So,
Yeah.
um,
All of it, just 14, the number 14, the movie, just 14, the movie.com, the website, the Facebook, search for it, you'll find it. Join our group, the more the better.
Absolutely. And I suppose the essence of it is just put into a search engine, just 14. However, that may get you into deep water. So be careful,
Not if
kids.
you put them both together. Just for the one thought at the end. That's
And
fine.
while you was talking about royalty, have you approached Prince William to play in it? And who is actually playing you? Can you give that away?
We haven't got the final characters.
Yeah,
The people in the trailer aren't well known,
yeah,
but the people we've approached them, we can't really say. Prince
sure.
William also has been mentioned.
Yes.
I mean, he did send me he's got a copy of the book.
Oh, good.
Got a love letter from him about sort of 4 or 5 years ago. What I would love to do is at the end of the film, have a little thing of why people became Villa fans and do
Yes.
Prince William and Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Because both of them have already done the interviews before.
Hmm.
And just saying, and also Nessa from Gavin and Stacey, why they're Villa fans.
Oh, she's a Villa fan as well.
Well, she wears the Villa top, doesn't she, with Smithy? No, you don't know that one. Okay.
Okay, well, I mean, that other fella, Gavin, wore a Tottenham. I'm not too sure if he is a Spurs. Sometimes they do wear these things on
Yeah.
on a TV.
No,
Yes.
but like I say, the character Nessa. So what we'd like to do is get her back as Nessa.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
we could do the interview as that one.
Yeah, it'd be
And
great.
also Prince William and Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be brilliant. Nessa interviewing Tom Hanks and in particular Prince William. Mind you, by
Yeah.
the time you actually get there, he might even be King William, mightn't he?
It could be, yes.
You never know.
Hopefully not.
No, hopefully not. Long live the king, and we don't wish
Yes.
anything off. Well, you keep saying Prince Charles, but it's King Charles,
It's so
the
weird, isn't
third
it,
now.
the change of that, yes.
Yeah, it is. But one thing is going to stay constant. Just 14, the movie, is going to be released. It would be great to just sit in there nicely with 150 years of Aston Villa. Perfect timing. And can I wish you all the very best? I'm not going to ask you what you're doing next because with this project, it's going to go on and on and on. And you must be a very, very busy man and a very proud man as well. And be very proud of what you've done.
Yeah, I'm just amazed. Everybody else helped so much. And the people I've met, people were there on Saturday. It's incredible.
I think that when you find football fans and you get into the fabric of the fans, you know, they're just so wonderful, aren't they? They're so accommodating, love the football club, and the various ways we've done this on our group, how you actually connected and become a fan of the club in the first place. There's another book there in terms of how people connected their first
Yeah, good
football
one.
moments. It's, you know, football is almost like religion. And it's the closest thing to being a religion that actually isn't one. But God bless you on that note.
Thanks for your time, Paul.
Yeah, thanks for your time. Thanks for listening, guys. And check it out, Just 14. Put it into a search engine. All the W's, Just 14. Let's have the final word
Just
from
14,
you.
the movie.
Just 14, the movie.
Yeah.
And is it .com, .co.uk?
.com, it's .com.
Absolutely. So don't forget it. All the W's, Just 14, the movie. So important. .com. And all the very best going forward to you, Andy. Thank you so much, sir, and good luck.
Okay.
Cheers, pal. Bye-bye now.